Sammy, you didn't contest an election, so should I skip?
Look,
they were there.
This was a national election.
Okay.
Great importance for our democracy.
No, you didn't participate.
Even though we didn't participate, I'm a stakeholders in this democratic experiment. We took keen interest in the election.
Right.
And so I have a lot to say about this. You see, Doc, the verdict of the people of Edube, as expressed in the just ended by-election, is the clearest indication that the new patriotic party is on its way out of office. It is a vote of no confidence in the leadership of Akufo-Addo, Bawumia, and the NPP. And it shows clearly that these guys are goners. They are beyond redemption. Nothing can be done to save the NPP. It is very clear when you look at the results that they are already out of office. That is not to say that we are going to be complacent, but it is very refreshing to know that our efforts are yielding results. If you are a young person, you are a businessman, you are looking for a political party to support in the upcoming 2024 election, look no further. The NDC is your surest bet, because the new patriotic party has betrayed the trust of the people of Ghana. They are flattered to deceive on all their major promises. And as a result, Ghanaians, including their own stronghold voters, have lost confidence in them. And the signs are very clear on the wall. Look, I say this for 3 reasons. Number 1, you see, Edube is not just a stronghold of the NPP. Edube is one of the Akan Ashanti-dominated constituencies in the Ashanti region. Yes, the entire Ashanti region is a stronghold of the NPP, rightly so. However, Edube is one of the strongest constituency in that stronghold for the NPP. And it is the reason why the NPP has always won Edube with a landslide margin. As you rightly pointed out, in the 2020 elections, the NPP won that constituency by over 82% of the valid votes. 82% of the valid votes. Now, less than 4 years down the line, we go for a by-election. And you see, a by-election is not like a national election. Doc, a by-election is just an election for one constituency. Yet, it is national. National in what sense? National in the sense that the entire apparatus of the political party, in this case the NPP, and the government of the day are deployed just for that election in one constituency. So the attention on the constituency is higher than the attention that that constituency would have received in a general election. Because in a general election, you're talking about 275 constituencies receiving attention from the party apparatus, government, and so on. Here, one constituency receiving all the attention from the president, from the vice president and flag bearer of the NPP, Ahiagbah, from the leadership of the New Patriotic Party, their party structures, and so on. They go into an election with a lightweight, an independent candidate who doesn't even have any structures on the ground. An independent candidate.
He's been MP for 2 terms or so.
I'm coming. He has obviously his strengths, but a lot of weaknesses, in the sense that as an independent candidate, he doesn't have the logistics, the resources, the systems and structures that can match even 1% of what an established political party like the New Patriotic Party has. All he had was his name and track record. All he has was integrity and reputation. Doc, you understand me? Yeah. That is all he had as a strength. He didn't have the resources, whether financial, logistics. I mean, he didn't have it in terms of people. He didn't have. And yet this person goes into an election with the NPP. In a constituency, the NPP won by over 82%. in 2020. And the NPP manages to get a paltry 55%. Come on, this is a shame. This is a disaster for the New Patriotic Party. A pleasant one for the people of Ghana. Because it shows clearly that all Ghanaians, even including the die-hard supporters of the NPP, have seen through the shenanigans of the NPP, the deception of the NPP, the nepotism, the corruption, the waste, the destruction of Ghana's economy. They are tired of the misgovernance. They are yearning for a change. And they are voting against their own political party. 82% and over in 2020 to now what? A party 55%. I saw Richard strenuously trying to justify this.
You know, my heart missed a bit when he said I saw Richard.
Not there. No, I just heard him in the studio.
I thought you were going to say
trying to justify this monumental embarrassment. What did he have to say? He says, oh, in by-elections, turnouts are always low. Richard, that is not true. In fact, in some by-elections, turnouts are always high. Look, you know, I was very instrumental in that Senate elections. You know the turnout for that Senate election.
What was it?
74.23%.
Yeah.
74. Even in general elections, there are regions and constituencies that are not able to, you know, achieve turnouts of about 70%. In a Senate, a swing constituency, not a stronghold of the ruling party, a swing constituency, turnout was 74.3%. The turnout in the just ended Edube by-election was 49.1%. What does that tell you? It tells you that even members of the New Patriotic Party in their own strongholds have given up on them. They are no longer interested.
Because the Global Info Analytics poll, I mean, said that 70% of the respondents were disappointed with the Akufo-Addo administration. So there's a correlation between that and the level of apathy.
People are no longer interested. The NDC didn't participate. But even if we participated, how many votes? I mean, in 2020, if you're using what we got, 14,000, when the NPP had over 68,000. You understand? But the point here is that this is their stronghold. And they were on the ground. Richard Ahiagbah was there with his troops. And they were led by Ahiagbah. President Akufo-Addo
was there for about a month.
Yes, they were there. They were sleeping in people's house, going on house-to-house campaign, begging them come out and vote, and all that, and doing other things that I'll be talking about.
Great.
And in spite of all that, turnout 49.1%. This is yet again evidence that these guys are goners. Nobody should waste their time on the NPP. When I see businessmen still supporting them, I weep for them. They are gone. Their cup is full. God has given up on them. Ghanaians have given up on them. Because people have seen through their shenanigans and deception. Then you put aside the voter turnout. He says that, oh, in by-elections, because the turnout is always low, your votes can also reduce. You see, we are not talking about nominal votes here. Already I've established to you that the turnout in the Senate election was way higher, 74.3%. And that was a by-election. So it cannot be said that, you know, turnouts are always low in by-elections. A Senate is a classical example that what Richard said is false. But look, he then says that, oh, in by-elections, the votes of political parties usually reduce. I don't know where he's getting that from. Your votes will reduce in by-elections.
Sammy, I didn't say that.
Okay, if you didn't say that, that is fine. But it is instructive to note that your votes, nominally and percentage-wise, reduce. I will not make a fuss about the nominal decline because, of course, turnout was not the same.
The point I'm making is that even if there was low turnout,
the percentage
should reflect the
exactly, because we are talking about percentages. It should reflect your strength. So even with the 49.1% turnout, you should not be getting 55% against Edube. You should be getting close to the 82% you got. Even if they got say 70 or 75%, you can make a case for that. They went down from 70 below 60 to what? 55. Look, Doc, in the Senate election, I will always cite a Senate because it is the latest one. I was instrumental in that election.
You won.
No, but it is the last by-election we had before this one.
Right.
And there is a reason why I'm not going to Kumawu, because the Kumawu one has some dynamics that, don't exist in the Edreso and the Senate, cases. In a Senate, the NDC got 55%. A little over 55% of valid votes cast in the 2020 general elections. 55%. When we went for the by-election, we got over 57%. We got 57.56%. We appreciated by 2.65 percentage points. Our votes went up, showing clearly that relative to Asenov, the people of Ghana have missed the NDC. They believe in the NDC, and they are ready to give the NDC the chance to govern this country again. They've bought into the messages of the NDC. Some have regretted the choices they made in 2020 and 2016 against the NDC. It showed in the results. Why? Because we increased from 55% in the main election to 57% and over in the by-election. In that same Asenov, which was a swing constituency, the NPP declined. Because though in 2020, they had 44% of the valid votes. 44%. In the by-election, they came down to 42%. This was Asenov. So in swing constituencies, their electoral fortunes are on a sharp decline. In their own stronghold, sharp decline. 82% to 55%. If I was an NPP member, I'm not sure I would be seated here having this discussion. You guys need to be preparing your handing over notes, because clearly you're on your way out. But Doc, what even makes these statistics profound and worthy of consideration are the kind of things, the machinations that the NPP deployed in the Edube election, which yielded this paltry 55% of valid vote cast we are talking about here. Look, this is an election, as I've already indicated, where one individual was contesting against the might of the ruling New Patriotic Party and the entire government apparatus. This gentleman, who has served the NPP in parliament and in various capacities, but who today is being demonized, talking about Edube. He was branded by the NPP, led by Richard Ahiagbah, under the direction of his boss, Ahiagbah, to be an appendage and a stooge of the NDC. You realize that not too long ago, Richard in this studio, on this seat, said that we, the NDC, were in a dresser. You know what he was insinuating? What he was insinuating was that we were supporting Edube in the background.
Yes. That
was their main campaign. So they went to house, telling the people of Edube, because they know that traditionally NDC is haram in Edube. If the NPP can get 82-83% in an election, it should tell you that our strength in Edube traditionally has been weak.
In a video played yesterday, the vice president said that.
Exactly. Yeah, and you see, so their strategy is that once we brand Edube as NDC, the people of Edube hate the NDC to the extent that they will reject Edube. So Bawumia himself, when Bawumia saw that Richard was not doing a good job, he himself went and joined the campaign and said, a vote for Edube is a vote for the NDC. The people of Edube heard them. And in spite of that, 43%, more than 43% of the people who voted said, even if Edube is being financed or sponsored by the NDC, what does this tell you? Talk number 2. This is an election where, Master, I saw money at Asenov. I saw money in trucks. Truckload of money 200 Ghana cedis notes.
Oh, you're
fresh.
You're exaggerating.
No, what are you talking about? I was in Asenoff for 7 weeks before the election. I never left Asenoff. I was in the thick of affairs, you know. I was responsible for managing the campaign. There is nothing that went on in that election that I was not aware. We were there. We saw truckload of money. They were distributing money like there was no tomorrow. Cutlasses, weedy size. Doc, but the reports we heard from Edube, some of which we have seen on video, beats by far what happened at Asenoff. Come on, money be what?
Now you're exaggerating.
What is money? Wana money or taxpayers' money? Bundles of money in this time of suffering and hardship from the people of this country being distributed like biscuits, like a brode in Katia. Distributing money in your own stronghold in an election that the NDC, your main contender, was not even participating. You wasted public funds in this manner. People were auctioning their votes because the money was flowing from everywhere. And in spite of all the money they shared, voter turnout was 49.1%. And the MPP had a paltry 55%. Look, you guys, you should be reading the signs on the wall. Your time is up. Your cup is full. Look, the MPP did something that has never happened in the history of Ghana before, in the history of elections before. And you see, we need to take strong exception to what they did. The level of this desperation they displayed at Edube, I have never seen in any election in Ghana. And that is why I say that that level of desperation beats by far what they did in Asenoff.